So Mark Hamill says that Luke Skywalker is a homosexual, and I think like out of all the claims that I've heard about Star Wars, I'm actually willing to believe this one because if you're becoming the strongest entity in the universe, and by the end of the movies you don't have a woman with massive fat tits and her lips around your cock, then yeah, I definitely think that he may be gay. I can't find any other explanation. I think that when he kissed his sister, it pushed him over to the other side. That I think Mark Hamill is absolutely right with this. Interestingly enough, though, I love how woke people don't rewrite the script. Like they don't try to think like, what year are we in? What actually resonates with the audience? What can I say that makes sense? No, instead they just parrot the same story over and over again. And so in this situation, Mark Hamill basically says that fans are writing and asking these questions, right? So like fans are writing to him, saying him, Mark, you old man, I'm bullied in school. I'm afraid to come out. So like, let me get this straight, okay? I can understand back in the day when Star Wars came out, some kids that watched Star Wars and it was like this huge thing. It was like this massive cultural event that they would somehow write to Mark Hamill, because, well, kids are fascinated back then, like being a Hollywood actor was a big thing. And they would tell like Hamill their life story or some shit. But like even that is a little bit far-fetched, but like let's go with it, okay? And so like they would say, well, I'm gay and I'm bullied in school. Nowadays, it's 2025. Star Wars is not a big cultural thing. Like a kid nowadays is more likely to grow up with Genshin Impact and Nikkei. Like Star Wars for them is just like something, yeah, I saw those movies, yeah, it's interesting. But it's not like a cultural thing that every kid talks about. And who the fuck, right? Like imagine a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old writing to old man Mark Hamill because the 14-year-old just saw Star Wars when Mark played Luke Skywalker and he was young. Wouldn't like they just ask ChatGPT about it? I'm just saying, like you need to start thinking that time has moved on. Like you live in a current era, and you as an old man saying that kids are writing to you about their homosexuality is cringe as fuck. Like what's in it left? Everyone started clapping after you gave the perfect response. And it's 2025, right? Like what child is getting bullied at school for being gay? Like that's a hate crime nowadays. Like that would encourage an online harassment campaign against the bullies. Like you're telling me that the rainbow teachers, right? Like the alphabet soup network just allows gay kids to be bullied in 2025. Even the Republican presidential candidate, right, Donald Trump, even he had the rainbow flag. Even now that Trump won the elections and he is in office, they only removed the T from the LGBT's governmental website, but the LGB is still there. Like, when you lie to people, at least try to make it believable, right? Like, at least you yourself need to believe the lie, and that young kids are writing to you about their homosexuality, seeking for advice because they don't know how to access ChatGPT. Come on. And so he's basically saying, well, yeah, but like there's fan fiction, and fan fiction exists, and some people can interpret the character as being gay, could look big gay. It's something to be interpreted by the viewer. If you think he is gay, of course he is. I really hate like this line of thinking. It's kind of like that meme where there is either a 6 or a 9 drawn on the sidewalk. And, well, it can be either one. It's whatever you prefer. It's like, no, there is a reality. Like, someone actually drew either a 6 or a 9. And if you actually want to understand reality, if you want to understand the truth, then you should look out, are there any other numbers so we can see in comparison, how they're positioned, so we can know if it's a 6 or a 9? Can we not find the person that wrote that number and ask them? Can we look, are there any other buildings nearby so that, the number is arranged compared to the buildings or the architecture so that we can tell if it's a 6 or a 9? Like, I really hate this thing. Well, it can be either anything you want. I mean, of course it can be anything you want, but like, is that what the critical mind would accept? Is that like what someone that's built around critical thinking would take? Sure, like in fan fiction, it can be anything you want. You can make a fan fiction and you can make the Winchesters be gay and perform acts of incest. That actually was a thing on Tumblr. Very disturbing. But it existed, right? Like, there were a lot of women that liked Supernatural, and they made the Winchester brothers be gay and in an incestual relationship. Does that mean that the person who created Supernatural, that the writer of Supernatural, the characters in canon are gay and they're into an incestual relationship? Absolutely not. And so, like, the question that people have when they ask, is Luke gay, is how did Lucas write Luke? Like, when George Lucas wrote Luke Skywalker, was he thinking that he's gay? No, he was obviously thinking that he is straight. Probably didn't even plan the fact that Leia's his sister. I didn't know. I forgot the films. I don't watch them religiously. I saw them like 3 or 4 times in my life. But I don't know if the revealing that Leia is Luke's sister happens in the first episode or the second. Because if it happens in the second episode, then it's quite possible that Lucas didn't even consider it at the time. And so, like, when you're a writer and you're writing stuff, a lot of writers, they write as it goes. So, like, they're thinking, oh, wouldn't it be interesting if? But yeah, like, the way that Lucas wrote Skywalker here, he didn't write him as gay. Like, there is absolutely no indication throughout the movie that he likes men. Probably doesn't like aliens either. Now, what's interesting, though, is this idea that, like, if you're a gay kid that's bullied at school, like, somehow entertainment would give you power. How? And not to mention, if that's the case, I would recommend that the kid just reads Japanese manga. Like, it's not like implied over there. It's explicit, and the heroes are explicitly part of that sexuality, so there's no wiggle room to say, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But yeah, no, like, Mark Hamill is just reading the same old talking points that are old, outdated, and every single time he posts something, I have to cringe. It is what it is, I have to tolerate sharing the internet with other individuals who are more cringe than me. Let me know what you think. I have a comment that's pinned into the comment section. It leads to my other socials and a way you can help the channel. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.